Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, the Cubs have a couple of moves to announce. A trade first was made with the Yankees, where Rule 5 pick Corbin Klaus, reliever Domingo Germán, and a couple of minor leaguers were sent to the Yankees in exchange for reliever Liam Hendricks, who is immediately going to be plugged in as a setup man in the Cub bullpen. Also, the Cubs traded Brian Abreu and a minor leaguer, Benjamin Rodriguez, to the Brewers, getting Brent Suter in return, and third baseman, minor leaguer Tristan Casas as well. Suter is expected to be immediately slotted into the Cub rotation. Now, on to the matter of today's game. We are going to see the Cubs proceeding on to face the Brewers in a 3-game series in Milwaukee. The Cubs have just gotten done sweeping the Pirates and are heading into Milwaukee on a 3-game winning streak. For today's game between these two rivals, we see the Cubs are sending lefty Matthew Boyd out to the mound. He's making his second start of the season, has a .675 ERA and a whip of 3. The Cubs lineup today will be Horner, Paradas, Rizzo, Springer, Correa, Tauschman, Fegley, Boyd batting 8th, and Santana batting 9th. The Brewers lineup will include pitcher Corbin Burns, who is making start number 2. He is 0-1 with an ERA of 6 and a whip of 1. The Brewers lineup will include Kane, Hyera, Yelich, Encarnacion, Navares, Garcia, Arcia, Marrero, and Corbin Burns batting 9th. The roof is closed today, and it is 63 degrees in Milwaukee. So let's get this game underway. As the Brewers take the field, we see Corbin Burns on the mound. So for the Cubs, Nico Hoerner is stepping up to the plate to lead off in this ballgame. The Cubs coming in first place in the National League Central with a 7-2 record, facing off with the Brewers, who are 5-4 and second place in the Central. So a critical early season matchup for both teams here in Milwaukee. Hoerner is at the plate, Burns on the mound. Burns is looking for the sign and delivering the first pitch of the ballgame. And Hoerner lines that one right at his counterpart, the second baseman Hyera, who grabs it for out number 1. Next up is Paradas. With 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count. And the pitch to Isaac Paradas. And he's going to drive that one into the gap in right center field, going back toward the warning track. On the warning track, the catch is made by Lorenzo Kane for out number 2. Paradas certainly gave that one a ride, but came up just a few feet short of the wall out in center field. Next up, Anthony Rizzo. 2 outs and nobody on. Full count pitch to Anthony Rizzo. And a looper into right field. Coming in is the right fielder, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs go down in order. We go down to the bottom of the first of a scoreless ball game. Excuse me. Next up, Lorenzo Kane for the Brewers. He is facing off with Matthew Boyd here in the bottom of the first inning. Kane, widely rumored to be traded to the Cubs during the offseason, although it never really seemed to come through for him. So here's a full count pitch from the lefty Boyd. He is looking for the sign and delivering the pitch to Kane, and there's a grounder towards second. Hoerner has it. Throwing over to first, that'll be out number 1. Next up, Keston Hyera with 1 out and nobody on. Boyd working with a 2-1 count, and a grounder to first. Rizzo has it. He flips to the pitcher covering, and that is going to be out number 2. Christian Yelich now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Boyd facing Yelich. First pitch, and a liner into left field. This time coming in fast is Santana out and left. He is going to play it on a hop, and that'll be a 2-out single for Christian Yelich. Took that one the opposite way into left field for the single. It brings up Edwin Encarnacion. With 2 outs and the runner on first, here's a 2-1 pitch to Encarnacion. The shift is on. Here's the pitch. And a liner into right adjusting is the right fielder, taking a few steps back, and Tauschman is going to put it away to end the inning. So the Brewers strand a runner. We're going to the top of the second of a scoreless ball game. George Springer now leading off for the Cubs in the top of the second inning. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. And that is strike 3 called right on the outside corner. The changeup freezes him. So that's the first out of the inning. Correa now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Burns working with a 2-ball count. Here is the pitch. And a liner right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. 1 out. Single for Carlos Correa. Puts him on first. And the next batter will be Mike Tauschman. With 1 out, 1 man on. Tauschman facing Burns here in the top of the second inning. Here's a 2-2 count. And a grounder up the middle. The shortstop dives. He makes the play. The throw over to first. And they get Tauschman by half a step for the second out of the inning. Tauschman wants to argue, but he heads back to the dugout. So the ground ball acts as a sacrifice as Correa advances to second, and now Fegley is the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. Burns facing Fegley. Here is the pitch. That is an intentional walk, so they're going to put him on first to face the pitcher, Matthew Boyd. With 2 outs, 2 men on. Correa on second, Fegley on first. Boyd the batter. Here's the 1-2 count, and Boyd strikes out looking with the curveball to end the inning. So the Cubs stranding 2. We go to the bottom of the second of a scoreless ball game. Navares leading off for the Brewers here in the bottom of the second inning. Boyd working, 2-2 count, lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So he strikes him out with the changeup. That is Matthew Boyd's first strikeout of this ball game. And now Arcia is the batter. With 1 out, nobody on. Arcia waiting for the full count pitch. And a drive into deep left field. I believe that's going to give Bernie a bath. And it does. Bernie slides down. And that's a home run. 386 feet out to left field. So that's a 1-0 lead for the Brewers here in the bottom of the second inning. That is the second home run of the season for Avisail Garcia. Orlando Arcia is the next batter. He's facing Boyd with 1 out and 1 run already in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Boyd delivers. And there is a liner into left field. That's going to be another base hit. Santana plays it on a hop, gets it back into the cutoff man. A 1-out single for Orlando Arcia. And now Marrero is the batter. With 1 out, runner on first. Boyd working with 1 strike count. And a liner down the right field line. That's going to be another base hit. Rounding first, heading for extra bases. And that is going to be a double. As the Brewers now have second and third. And 1 out in this inning. The next batter is the pitcher, Corbin Burns. So Matthew Boyd, already 1 run in and trying to work his way out of a jam here in the second inning. Boyd facing Burns. Here is the first pitch. The infield's drawn in, and that's a liner into left. That's going to drive in a run. The throw comes into the cutoff man, and the pitcher, Corbin Burns, has an RBI single to make this a 2-0 ball game. So next up is Lorenzo Kane. With 1 out, runners on the corners. Boyd facing Kane with a full count. Here is the pitch, and Kane pops it up on the infield. Foul territory, Rizzo chasing. He puts it away for out number 2. Next up, Keston Hyera. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Hyera is 0 for 1 today, facing Boyd here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-strike count, and there's a drive into center field. It looks like he might have gotten all of that one. That's the second home run of the inning. Bernie is enjoying his slide out there in left field. He takes his second swan dive of the inning, and the Brewers now have a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. 3-run home run off the bat of Keston Hyera, his second of the season, second home run of the game. And now Christian Yelich is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Boyd facing Yelich with a 2-strike count. Here comes the pitch. And a liner into center field. That's on the run. And the catch is made by Springer right at the shoe tops for out number 3. So the Brewers score 5 times and take a 5-0 lead into the top of the third inning. So, this is going to prompt somebody to be warmed up in the Cubs bullpen. Because the 5-run outburst, unfortunately, well, yeah, he's going to face the 4, 5, and 6 batters next inning. I don't know. It doesn't look good, but he's going to have a short leash next inning. So, top of the third inning, Burns facing Santana. Here's a 1-2 count and the pitch, and Santana pops it up to left. Coming in is the left fielder, and Yelich will make the catch for out number 1. Nico Hoerner out of the batter, 1 out and nobody on. Hoerner facing Burns with a 1-2 count. And Hoerner swings and misses for strike 3. So that is the second out of the inning. It brings up Isaac Paradas. 2 outs, nobody on. Burns working with a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch to Paradas, and a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. Throwing over to first, that'll end the inning. So the Cubs retired in order. We go to the bottom of the third of a 5-0 contest. Boyd facing Encarnacion here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the first pitch from Boyd, and Encarnacion pops it up to center field. Springer coming in. He's going to make the catch, and that's out number 1. Next up, Omar Navares. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch to Navares, and there's a liner into the gap in right center field. That is going to drop in for a base hit. Kind of a perfect placement, clears the second baseman, and none of the outfielders can get to it. So a 1-out single for Navares, and next up is Avisail Garcia. And now we are going to warm up a reliever. We are actually going to... No, we're not going to warm up the new guy. We're going to go ahead and warm up... Gosh, none of these guys are really particularly... We're going to warm up Jimenez. If we need to get out of this inning, this is just going to turn into a bullpen day, honestly. If Boyd can't get out of this third inning. So, 1 out, 1 man on. Boyd facing Garcia with a full count. Here comes the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Boyd gets his second strikeout of the game. And now Arcia is the batter. He's 1 for 1 today. Facing Boyd with 2 outs and the runner on first. Here's the pitch from Boyd and a grounder back toward the mound. The pitcher covers. He throws to first, but the throw is late. That's going to be an infield single for Arcia. Navares taking second, and it brings up Devin Marrero. With 2 outs and runners on first and second, Boyd facing Marrero with a 1-2 count. Let's see if we can capitalize on this 2-strike count. And he gets the strikeout. He freezes him with a slider for strike 3. So that ends the inning. The Brewers do not score. We go to the top of the fourth of a 5-0 contest. Burns now facing Rizzo in the top of the fourth inning. Here's a 1-strike count. Burns delivering the pitch, and Rizzo pops it up to center. Coming in fast is Kane. He makes the catch. That is going to be out number 1. George Springer now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 count to George Springer. And he checks his swing, but that is strike 3 called. Second out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Corbin Burns, and it brings up Carlos Correa with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-strike count. Correa waiting, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Correa gets fanned to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth of a 5-0 ball game. Corbin Burns now leading off against Boyd here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 ball count. Here comes the pitch. And a liner into center field. That's a base hit for the pitcher. He is 2 for 2 today with an RBI. So Kane now facing Boyd. As we make sure that Jimenez, yeah, he's still ready to come in. So Boyd just gave up a single to the opposing pitcher. And I think that we just got to get him out of this ball game. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Jimenez to pitch in the 4th inning. He is ready to come in. Joe Jimenez has thrown 3 1/3 innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 5.40 ERA. He's brought in with a runner on first in the bottom of the 4th inning of a 5-0 ball game. Lorenzo Kane the batter. Jimenez working. There's the pitch. And a liner into left field. That's going to be another base hit. Santana plays it on the hop. The runner, Burns, had to actually hesitate. He thought Santana might try to dive and get that, but it didn't happen. So Hyera now the batter with nobody out, runners on first and second. Here is the first pitch to Keston Hyera. And a pop-up, routine play, left field. Going back is Santana, and he's going to make the catch for out number one. Out number one, yes. So Yelich now the batter with one out, runners on first and second. Jimenez working with a 1-strike count. And here comes the pitch. And a pop-up to right, this time coming in. Oh, but going out is the second baseman, Hoerner. He calls off Tauschman, who was coming in for it. He makes the catch for out number 2. Jimenez now facing Encarnacion with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Jimenez looking to escape this inning. Here's a 1-1 count. And a liner into center field. That's going to be a base hit. I believe it's going to drive in a run. The runner stops. Springer throws it back into the cutoff man. So that makes the bases loaded. And Jimenez is now facing Navares with 2 outs and a force at any base. The bottom of the 4th inning. Jimenez trying to escape this jam. Here's the first pitch, and Navares hits it on the ground toward first. Rizzo grabs it, steps on the base to end the inning. So the ground ball bails him out of the inning. We go to the top of the 5th of a 5-0 ball game. Corbin Burns facing Mike Tauschman here in the top of the 5th inning. Tauschman is 0 for 1 today, waiting for the first pitch. And there's a pop-up to right. Coming in is the right fielder, and that'll be put away by Arcia for out number 1. Next up, Josh Fegley. 1 out, nobody on. Burns facing Fegley with a 2-2 count. And there's a pop-up to center. Kane adjusting to his left, gets under it and makes the catch for out number 2. And now the pitcher, Jimenez, is the batter, and he's going to bat for himself with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 5th inning. 2-2 count, Jimenez waiting for the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that will be the end of the inning. Jimenez strikes out, and the Cubs are set down in order. We go down to the bottom of the 5th of a 5-0 ball game. Jimenez now is going to face Arcia in the bottom of the 5th. He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 batters in the Brewers lineup. Here's a 2-strike count and the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Fastball at 94 and just blows it right by him. So Arcia now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Jimenez working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Jimenez. And that'll bring up Devin Marrero with 2 outs and nobody on. Jimenez working with a 1-2 count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Jimenez strikes out the side. So we go to the top of the 6th. It is still a 5-0 ball game. Santana leading off for the Cubs against Corbin Burns here in the top of the 6th inning. Really like to see something going here. Burns has only allowed 1 hit in this ball game. Santana waiting for the first pitch. And he lines that one into right field. I believe that's going to drop in for a leadoff single. So Santana stopping at first. And the Cubs have the leadoff man on base. Nico Hoerner is now the batter. He's 0 for 2 today. Facing Burns with a runner on first, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. We are, in fact, going to warm up another reliever now. For the 6th inning, we are going to see who is due up in the Brewers lineup. The number 9 batter is due up. All right. So we're going to go ahead and warm up Liam Hendricks. He is going to make his first appearance as a Cub today. So, Hoerner facing Burns with a runner on first, nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the first pitch to Hoerner, and he grounds that one to second. The throw goes to short, the relay to first, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. So, the Cubs now have nobody on base and 2 outs, and Isaac Paradas is the batter. Top of the 6th inning, Burns working with a full count. Here's the pitch to Paradas. Way inside, that is ball 4. So Paradas takes his base. He is now on first for Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo 0 for 2 today with 2 outs and 1 man on. Burns facing Rizzo with a 2-0 count. And he's going to line that one in center field. Running fast is Kane, and he makes the sliding catch to end the inning. So the Cubs strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning of a 5-0 Brewers lead. And now Corbin Burns is due to lead off. However, Liam Hendricks is ready to come into this game. Hendricks is going to come in as the new pitcher. He's going to make his first appearance as a Cub. So in 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and an ERA of exactly 0. So Hendricks facing the pitcher Corbin Burns here in the bottom of the 6th. Hendricks looking for the sign, delivering the first pitch of the inning. There's a liner past the third baseman into left field. That's going to be a leadoff extra base hit. Corbin Burns heading to second. The throw to second, the slide, and he is safe. Corbin Burns somehow is 3 for 3 today. And that is an impressive day for a pitcher not named Babe Ruth. So now, Lorenzo Kane is the batter. With nobody out and the runner in scoring position, Hendricks facing Kane with a 1-strike count. And there's a grounder past the shortstop into left field. There's another base hit. The throw comes home. The runner's coming home. The slide, and he is safe. So a RBI single for Lorenzo Kane, and the Brewers add to their lead. It is now 6-0 in the 6th inning. Keston Hyera is the batter now. He hit his 2nd home run of the season earlier in this game. Facing Liam Hendricks with a runner on first and nobody out. 1-ball count. And a pop-up to right. Chasing is Tauschman toward the line. He makes the catch. That's out number 1. Christian Yelich now the batter. Hendricks facing Yelich with 1 out, 1 man on. 1-2 is the count. And a grounder to second. The throw goes to short. The relay to first. And there's a 4-6-3 to end the inning. So the Cubs get the ground ball double play. The Brewers score once. We go to the top of the 7th of a 6-0 ball game. George Springer now is going to lead off facing Corbin Burns in the top of the 7th inning. If the Cubs are going to get back in this game, it had probably better start here. 1-strike count, Springer waiting for the pitch. And he is hit by the pitch. He takes his base. The trainer is waved off. He's not going to take a look at him. Apparently he's fine. So Springer on first now, and Correa is the batter. Correa's got the one of the 2 Cub hits in this ball game. He's facing Burns in the top of the 7th inning. Cubs down by 6. Here's a full count pitch and a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. He throws to first, but it is late. Oh, he actually can't get it to first. So that's going to be an infield single for Correa, and the Cubs now have first and second with nobody out. Mike Tauschman is the next batter. I believe this is the moment where we need to start warming up a different reliever for the bottom of the 7th inning. That different reliever is going to be Nick Birdie. So, Tauschman facing Burns here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-strike count and the pitch. And a grounder past the first baseman into right field. That's a base hit. Rounding third and stopping is Springer. So now the Cubs have the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. And now Josh Fegley is the batter. But we are going to see a pinch hitter for Josh Fegley right here. And we are going to send up the former Brewer, Ryan Braun. He was brought in as a minor league free agent, and he has been promoted to the Major League Ball Club with the recent maneuverings that the Cubs have made. So Braun facing Corbin Burns with the bases loaded, nobody out. Brewers up by 6 here in the top of the 7th inning. Braun making his 2nd at-bat of the season. Top of the 7th inning, 1-ball count. Braun waiting for the pitch. And he lines that one into left field, going all the way to the wall. This is going to score some runs. Braun heading for extra bases. He's going to come in with a double. 2 runs score, and this is a 6-2 ball game. So Braun with the 2-run RBI double here in the top of the 7th inning. Getting some revenge against his former team. And now Liam Hendricks is the batter, and he's going to be pinch hit for. The next pinch hitter brought up is going to be the new catcher, Miguel Amaya. He is going to pinch hit for the pitcher spot, coming up from the right side against the righty Burns in the top of the 7th inning. 2 runners in scoring position. Cubs down by 4 in the top of the 7th inning. Amaya facing Burns with a 3-0 count. Here comes the pitch. Inside for ball 4. So the walk loads the bases once again. And now the Brewers are going to bring in a relief pitcher. Devin Williams is coming out of the Brewers bullpen. He has thrown 8 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 15 strikeouts, and an ERA of 0. Williams is going to face Danny Santana. The righty Williams will face the switch-hitting Santana, who will bat from the left side. Cubs down by 4, top of the 7th inning. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Santana, gosh, the Cubs really need him to come through in this situation. So let's see what happens. Here's a full count pitch to Danny Santana. Devin Williams looking for the sign. Here's the pitch. And that is ball 4. The run is walked in, and that's the 3rd run of the inning. This is now a 6-3 ball game in the top of the 7th inning. Santana credited with the RBI, and that brings up Nico Hoerner. With nobody out, the bases loaded, the infield drawn in, Hoerner facing Williams here in the top of the 7th inning. Cubs down by 3. Hoerner waiting for the 3-1 pitch. And that's inside. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks with the bases loaded have made this a 2-run ball game. And now 4 runs are in for this inning for the Cubs, and Isaac Paradas is coming up to bat. He is 0 for 2 today. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Paradas facing Williams here in the top of the 7th inning. The infield is still drawn in. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Paradas. And he grounds that one to short. The throw comes home for 1. The relay to first, but Paradas hustles down the line to beat it out. So the run does not score. That is the first out of the inning. And now Rizzo comes up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th inning. Rizzo against Williams. Here's the 2-2 count and the pitch to Rizzo. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Rizzo strikes out with the bases loaded. 2nd out of the inning. And next up is George Springer. 2 outs, 2 men on. 3 men on. Williams facing Springer. Top of the 7th inning. 1-2 is the count. And a liner down the left field line. I believe he got all that one. It's a grand slam home run. And the Cubs have an 8-6 lead in the top of the 7th inning. That's amazing. George Springer has just hit a grand slam home run, and the Cubs have made an 8-run rally in the top of the 7th inning. And now, Mark Melancon is going to be brought out of the Brewers bullpen. He has 1-0 record with a 3 2/3 innings thrown, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a 4.91 ERA. He is going to face Carlos Correa, who was 2 for 3 today, making his 2nd at-bat of the inning. Correa facing Melancon with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 7th inning. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Correa. And there's a liner down the left field line. That's another base hit. Correa's digging for extra bases, rounding first, heading for second. He is going to have a sliding double with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. And now, Correa is on second, and that'll bring up Tauschman. We gotta make sure Birdie doesn't get tired. He's been warming up for quite a while down there in the bullpen. Tauschman now facing Melancon with 2 outs and the runner on second. Here's the 1-2 count and the pitch to Tauschman. And a swinging strike 3, which will end the inning. So the Cubs score 8 times and take an 8-6 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. And now we're going to see Birdie, who is ready to pitch. Now, this is a little bit of a predicament. However, I can tell you what we're going to do. Braun is going to stay in the game. Braun is going to stay in this game. Well, no. He's due to lead off in the next half inning. So he is going to go in left. Amaya is going to catch. Santana will slide over to right. And then the pitcher, Birdie, can slot into the number 6 spot. Oh, not center field. He's going to catch. That's why. Springer is still going to play center field. All right. So, Braun stays in the game. Amaya stays in the game. Birdie is going to pitch. Now, Encarnacion is going to face Birdie to lead off for the Brewers in the bottom of the 7th inning. Birdie has thrown 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and a 2.25 ERA. Birdie working with a 1-2 count. And here is the pitch. And Encarnacion swings and misses for strike 3. That was a fastball at 101 miles an hour. And now Navares is the batter. Birdie facing Navares with 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 is the count. And a pop-up on the infield. The catcher chasing toward the dugout. And Amaya puts it away for out number 2. Next up is Garcia with 2 outs and nobody on. Birdie working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. And a pop-up to right. Coming in is Santana. He is going to make the catch, and that'll be out number 3. So, the Brewers go down in order. We go to the top of the 8th inning of an 8-6 Cub lead. Ryan Braun going to lead off against Mark Melancon here in the top of the 8th inning. He hit a 2-run RBI double that really kicked off the Cub rally in the top of the 7th inning. Braun now waiting for the full count pitch. Here it comes. And there's a pop-up to right. Chasing is the right fielder, Garcia. He is going to make the catch for out number 1. Amaya now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. He drew a walk, I believe, his last time up. Here comes the pitch to Amaya. And there's a grounder up the middle. The shortstop has it. He throws over to first. That's going to be out number 2. And now Santana the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Santana waiting for the first pitch from Melancon. And there's a grounder right up the middle. That's going to be a 2-out single as Santana gets another base hit. He's 2 for 3 now on the day. Brings up Nico Hoerner with 2 outs and 1 man on. Melancon facing Hoerner here in the top of the 8th inning. 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. And a grounder up the middle. Past the pitcher's mound to the shortstop. And no throw is made. Hoerner hustling down the line. Would have easily beaten the throw anyway. So now Paradas is the batter. He's 0 for 3. He's facing Melancon with runners on first and second and 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Paradas waiting for the 1-2 pitch. And here it comes. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Paradas strikes out swinging to end the inning. We go down to the bottom of the 8th. It is still an 8-6 Cub lead. Now, Birdie is going to face the 7, 8, and 9 batters in the Brewer lineup in the bottom of the 8th inning. We are going to warm up a reliever, Jack Patterson. And we are also going to warm up Diaz in the event that Birdie is unable to complete this inning. So, Birdie facing Arcia here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the full count pitch from Birdie. And there is outside for ball 4. So we're going to go out and visit the mound, and Birdie says, I can still kick it up a notch. Patterson is ready. Diaz is still warming up. So Birdie's going to face Marrero, and then we'll see what the Brewers bring up for a pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 8th. Birdie working with nobody out and the runner on first. Here's a 1-2 count, and a grounder or liner up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third. The throw goes to third, and that he's going to be safe. So Arcia goes first to third on the single by Marrero, and now Ortega is the pinch hitter. So that means that Patterson is going to be brought in to face Ortega in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runners are on the corners with nobody out. Patterson has thrown 5 2/3 innings, allowed 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a 1.59 ERA. So Patterson going to have to work out of this jam with 2 inherited runners in the bottom of the 8th. Here is the 2-2 count and the pitch from Patterson. He's looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So there's the first out of the inning. And now Lorenzo Kane is the batter. We're going to set down Diaz. Patterson facing Kane with 1 out, runners on the corners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Patterson working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch to Kane, and there's a grounder to second, and the second baseman Horner kicks it, and everybody's going to be safe. So the run scores. The runners are safe on first and second. This is now an 8-7 ball game, and Keston Hyera is the next batter. So Patterson working with 1 out, runners on first and second in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 run has scored. Patterson facing Hyera, who is 1 for 4 today. Here is the 1-ball count and the pitch from Patterson, and he hits it right back toward the mound. Patterson throws it over to first. They do not try the double play, and that is going to be the 2nd out of the inning. So now Patterson facing Yelich with 2 outs and the tying run 90 feet away. And Yelich is going to be issued the intentional walk right here. A lot of things might happen in this ball game, but I'm not going to let Christian Yelich kill me. So, intentional walk. Patterson sends him down to first. And now, because Diaz is warmed up, and he is going to be swapped in to get the 3rd out against Edwin Encarnacion. So, with the bases loaded and the Cubs up by 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, Diaz brought in to face Encarnacion. Diaz has thrown 4 2/3 innings, 2 walks, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 1.93 ERA. We really need a strikeout right here to get out of this inning. So let's see what happens. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Here's a full count pitch from Edwin Diaz. He's looking for the sign and the delivery. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and he punches him out to end the inning. So, the Brewers score a run. The Cubs commit an error. We go to the top of the 9th of an 8-7 ball game. And now we are going to warm up. You see, so Tariq Skubal is going to be tomorrow's starter. So we're not going to use him. So now that means that Junior Fernandez and Blake Taylor are both going to be warmed up to potentially be used in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Brewers are going to bring in Corey Nebel out of the bullpen. He has thrown 3 2/3 innings, allowed 1 run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a 2.45 ERA. He's going to face Rizzo, Springer, and Correa here in the top of the 9th inning. Cubs looking for some insurance runs against the Brewers bullpen. Here's a 2-2 count, and Rizzo is waiting for the pitch. And he grounds that one over to second. Second baseman has it. He throws over to first, and that's going to be out number 1. Next up is Springer with 1 out, nobody on. Nebel facing Springer with a full count. Here is the pitch. And there's a check swing, ball 4. So Springer issued the walk. He heads down to first, and it brings up Correa. With 1 out, 1 man on. Correa facing Nebel here in the top of the 9th inning. 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. And a liner into right field. That's a base hit. Springer rounding second with a big turn. He's heading for third. He's going to take third base unopposed. And so now the Cubs have runners on the corners with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. And that will bring up the pitcher's spot, and a pinch hitter will be brought in. This is going to be Malik Smith for the Cubs. So Smith is stepping in from the left side against the righty Nebel. He is 2 for 7 on the season with 2 RBIs. Smith coming up with 1 out, runners on the corners. Here's a 2-0 count. And the pitch to Malik Smith, and he's going to line that one into right field. Short right field, though not deep enough. The throw comes into the cutoff man, but Springer doesn't even try to advance. So 2 outs now in the inning, and Ryan Braun is the next batter. With runners on the corners, Cubs up by 1. Braun facing Nebel with a 2-2 count. And Braun's going to knock that one into left field. Routine play. The left fielder, Yelich, gets under it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th of an 8-7 ball game. So now, Malik Smith is going to stay in this game. What is his best position? Left field. All right. So Malik Smith is going to stay in this game in left field. And Blake Taylor is going to be brought in. And Junior Fernandez is already warmed up. All right. So Blake Taylor will be brought in to pitch. He is going to face one batter. Oh, and the Brewers send up a pinch hitter. So Taylor, excuse me, faces Urias. Well, the Brewers send up the pinch hitter, the righty Urias, here in the bottom of the ninth. And that means that Taylor is going to face one batter probably and just come right out of this ball game. We're going to set down Fernandez. So Taylor, coming into this game, he's thrown 3 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, and a 2.70 ERA. Taylor facing Urias here in the bottom of the ninth with the Cubs up by 1. Here's a 1-1 count. And Taylor looking to deliver the pitch. Here it comes. And a pop-up behind second base. Horner going back. He makes the catch in short center field for out number 1. Taylor now facing Garcia with 1 out and nobody on. Here is the first pitch to Garcia. And there's a pop-up to right center. Chasing is Springer. He calls off Santana and makes the catch for out number 2. So that puts the Brewers down to their final out, and this is Orlando Arcia. Now Arcia, excuse me, Arcia comes up. He is 2 for 3 today, and we're going to bring in Junior Fernandez to face Arcia because Arcia's numbers are actually better against lefties. So, Junior Fernandez will be brought in. He will face Arcia. He's thrown 4 2/3 innings, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 3.86 ERA. Fernandez working with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 1-ball count and the pitch from Junior Fernandez, looking to close out this ball game. He's looking for the sign, and here is the pitch. And a grounder to second. Horner has it. Oh, and he bobbles it. That's his second error of the game. Horner bobbles it, and the runner is safe. And so the Brewers now have the tying run on base. And now Devin Marrero is the batter. With 2 outs and 1 man on. Bottom of the 9th inning. Fernandez facing Marrero with a full count. Here comes the pitch. And that is strike 3 called right on the inside corner. So thankfully this game comes to an end. The Cubs are victorious 8-7. The Cubs getting 8 runs on 10 hits with 1 error. The Brewers 7 runs on 15 hits with no errors. We see that the player of today's game is the Cubs' George Springer. He went 1 for 3. Drove in 4 runs on a grand slam home run that gave the Cubs the lead that they ended up hanging on to. Scored twice, walked once, 2 strikeouts in the game. 3rd home run of the season for Springer. So the Cubs' Liam Hendricks actually earns the win. The Cubs bullpen threw 6 innings and only allowed 1 earned run. 2 runs total in this ball game. The save goes to Fernandez, and several other people earned holds. Devin Williams out of the Brewers bullpen is tagged with the loss. Corbin Burns, it does feel like he got hung out to dry there a little bit in that 7th inning. So Williams gets the loss, and Melancon and Neville also pitched in relief. So the Cubs improved to 8-2 while the Brewers dropped to 5-5. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.